Hi, welcome to today's Theater Craft, where we take theater memorabilia and we create brand new treasures. So now I don't know about you, but whenever I get flowers from maybe opening night or some sort of special event, I have a hard time parting with them. So I thought it'd be really cool if we take those flowers and we make drawer pulls. Look at that. So you see, we've created using resin, an epoxy resin, and we created a drawer pull there. There's a flower inside there. Can you see that? That's pretty cool. Here's another one. Here are some more. Added some glitter in there. So you could take these flowers, you can create beautiful drawer pulls that you can use on your dresser drawers, or you could even take them and not include the screw and add them on top of a box so that you can use that as a pull for the top of a box. Either way works, and I'm going to show you how to do it today. Stay tuned. Okay, so here I am at the workbench, and I'm going to show you what I need for this particular project. So just looking at, here are the drawer pulls that I have already done, and notice this one is a flower, and it was a flower from an arrangement that had been given to me, and I put some stars in there. I thought that would be really fun. It was a flower that was still living. It was not a dried flower, so you can certainly use that for your drawer pull. This one is a faceted mold, which is this one here, and so it has a little bit of dimension there. This one is also that same faceted mold. I put a lot of glitter, got a little overboard on the glitter there, but this one is a fake flower, as is this one here. And you know, you could use flowers that maybe were in I don't know, a production that you were in. Maybe you carried flowers on stage, or there was a vase of flowers and you got to hold on to that after strike. You can kind of save it and put it in a drawer pull. This one was white. It was like a white rose, and this one was a red flower, and like I said, this one was a live flower, and this was from a bouquet that had been given to me. So there you go. Those are the different drawer pulls that I have. So here I've got a couple of molds here. I've got, this is to stir the resin. I've got something to measure the resin and a cup to put it in. I have some dried flowers here. I thought that might be kind of fun to do some dried flowers in a drawer pull. Now, these flowers were, I actually got them out of my yard. And so what I did is I took them and I pressed them in a book. And so they're flat, you can see here. And I thought those might be kind of fun. I've got some glitter. I'm going to try a little bit of glitter. I'm going to try not to put as much as I did in the other, but I thought this glitter here would be a nice match for the flowers there. And then, of course, I have the resin, and it's a two-part epoxy. You've got the resin itself, and then you've got the hardener, and both parts are important. In this particular case, you need to have equal amounts of both. And I've got gloves because obviously there is a chemical reaction and you want to protect your hands from that. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to put my gloves on just to protect, like I said, protect my hands. And so I'm going to try creating, let's see, put those flowers to the side for just a moment. So grab my cup here, and I'm going to use the measuring cup here. Obviously not a measuring cup that I use in the kitchen. And like I said, you're going to use equal parts of both in this particular case. I would recommend that you really look at the epoxy that you have to make sure that you're using the correct amount for your particular epoxy. So I've got this is quite thick, so it's in a moment. Okay, and fill that up halfway. And then filling in the rest with now, in this particular case, we need to mix it thoroughly. It really, you want to really give it a good mix for a good couple of minutes, just so that all of the two different parts are completely mixed up. And if you notice, when you first put them together, it looks a little bit kind of cloudy. You want it to be clear. All right, put that to the side. Notice I've protected my work surface here just so that I don't get all of the any epoxy on my work surface. So you can see the consistency of that, and it looks a little bit cloudy initially. You really want to, when you're pouring this, you really want to pour it so that you don't see, I don't know if you can see, like it's got air bubbles in it because I'm mixing it. And when you're working on it, it's got a little piece of wood in there. I want to make sure I get that out of there. You just want to make sure that you pour it slowly so that you don't get all those air bubbles in when you're casting using your molds. Now, these molds I actually got online. I got them on Amazon. There are molds everywhere. You can get them at any craft store, and any shape. They have all different kinds of molds. All right. So I'm going to try. Now, I have to admit, I haven't done these flowers before, so I'll try this one first. So I'm going to add some in, and I want to kind of coat the sides a little bit, just because I want to see if I can put those flowers up against the side of the mold. All right, so you see, so I'm gonna kind of circle it around, try to get some on the sides. Now you get a fair amount of working time with this. I've noticed in other projects that I've done, you probably have maybe 45 minutes or so working time, and so you can certainly play with it a little bit. You can also add color to this. I've, there are so many different options for color, and so that would be a really fun way to personalize your space as well. I'm just going to add a little bit more here, just to make sure I coat those sides. And again, you want to be careful because you want to make sure you don't get any air bubbles in there. It's a little hard to see inside, I'm going to be honest. Okay. All right. So let's try. I'm going to take, I have some tweezers here. I've got my flowers. Now remember that the bottom here is the top, if that makes sense, or the front of the drawer pull. All right. So you want to oops. These are a little bit fragile because they obviously dried flowers. Let's see. I did bring a toothpick over too, so I can come on, get up there. Okay. Adding some leaves would look really cool too. So, now I actually dried these. I put them in, like I told you in a book. I didn't leave them in there very long, like maybe a week. And they've dried pretty well. I'm surprised at how quickly they kind of dried out. I'm going to add a little bit more just because I'm seeing that it's not sticking to the sides as much as I would like. Okay. Let's see. You know, like if you get flowers from, you know, a friend or family member in a, you know, an opening night or something like that, how cool would it be to be able to take those flowers and be able to see them on your dresser or in your dress, your, I don't know, desk, you know, or something like that. I just think that would be so gorgeous. And so can you see in there that I'm adding flowers in there? And I love that there are some like little buds too. That's really cool to add. And just adding the depth to it as well. And it's kind of cool because like you just don't know. It's like a surprise. You just don't know what it's going to look like in the end. This one flower just wants to float around. It doesn't want to. You know what would be really fun? Hey, let's try this. I've got a bunch of, I don't know, let's give this a shot. Let's see. I've got a bunch of rhinestones here. What if we try that? Adding some rhinestones in there. Let's see if I can tip that one around so it's right side up for the. That's kind of fun. I'm not opposed to that. Okay. At least it's got some color. It's looking kind of cool. Add some more. You could add crushed glass in here. If you've got crushed glass, that would be really gorgeous. All right, so I'm gonna try, you know, like I said, I wanna add a little bit of glitter here. Let's see how this turns out. Now, again, I poured a ton in the ones, the examples that I showed, but this one I'm gonna try. I'm gonna just pour a little bit in my spoon here. That's a gorgeous color. Look at that. Let's see if I can put a little bit on this and swirl it inside there. Just a little bit. It's kind of just to give it a little bit of color. I don't know if you can see that inside. That's cool. All right, so I'm going to add some more just so we can get. Like I said, wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be beautiful? Or if it were colored resin in there, I would love that. And again, adding in slowly so that you don't get all those air bubbles. If you add it very quickly, you're gonna get a lot of air bubbles. I've seen, you can also, see, I'm seeing a little bit of air bubbles in there. I've seen people use like a heat gun to try to get the air bubbles out. That's certainly a possibility. All right, let's see. Now, once these mold, you're going to need at least a good 24 hours so that they have time to cure. And you don't need any special equipment for this particular version. Adding some more of the glitter in here. Could add different colors of glitter. Wouldn't that be cool if you swirled it around? I like that a lot. That's looking cool. I'm going to add a few more flowers in here. You can see that since the resin is in there, it's actually holding it a little bit better now. Leaf would be kind of cool. Can't wait to see. It's always so like fascinating when you take off the mold to see what it looks like. All right, let's add a little bit more. Let's see if we can top this off a little bit. Some more of the rhinestones just for fun. And again, I'm trying to make sure they're, I don't know if you can see, they're facing down. That's on purpose because that way they'll be facing out the right way when we take it out of the mold. Everything's sticking to my gloves. Okay, let's get that. I always feel, I don't know about you, but I always feel like I hate getting rid of flowers, like when they die. I'm the kind of person who has a hard time getting rid of them, and this would be such a way, a beautiful way to keep them. Like if you have flowers that someone special gave you, and a way to keep them and always remember that. I just love it. I have made projects with flowers that people have given me, and it's a way to keep them around and to remember the special moments, which I really love. It'd be cool if you did this and made it look like like constellations or something like that. That'd be really neat. Because it's got, you can see up close, it's got the swirl in there. I like that a lot. Add a couple more. My glove. That around. All right, what do you think? Should I add more flowers? So the way I'm going to do this, the way I did the others is I'm filling the mold first, and then once it is filled, there are a couple of ways you can add the screw. So if you notice, I have the screw on this so that you can screw it into your cabinet. I have the screws, I just purchased them at the hardware store, and you can either let it mold fully and then mix up more resin and glue that on the top with the resin, or you could even use something like an E6000. Either way would certainly work. I've seen it done both ways. You just want to make sure that it's on there pretty securely so that it'll stay on when you're fastening your bureau or whatever it is you're using this for. All right. Okay. And once you'll notice, and like I said, I'm going to have this sit overnight, but like probably for 24 hours. And you'll notice that the top will become a little bit rough just because of the way the resin dries and it's on the end of the mold and such. We're going to take that and we'll file that down, and you can use anything like even a nail file. I used a nail file on the ones that I used, those heavy duty nail files. But you can certainly use like a Dremel or sandpaper, anything like that. So I'm just bouncing it just a little bit to try to make sure I get some of those air bubbles out. It's hard to see them inside, honestly. Like it looks like there's one there, but I think that's actually one of the rhinestones. Try to put another rhinestone inside. Let's see if that. Just adding some depth, you know. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Again, it's hard to tell, you know. The bottom doesn't look like there's a lot of, it looks like it's more on the side. It's hard to, I can't tip it, obviously, but it looks like more on the side. We'll see when we take it out of the mold tomorrow. All right, so there it is. That's all we're going to do for today. And so tomorrow I'm going to let it sit for about 24 hours, and we'll take it apart. We'll take the mold out and we'll see how it looks. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so I have let this cure for about a full day. I'm going to say more than 24 hours. And you can see on the top here some of the lighter weight flowers, and I can see the rhinestones kind of rose to the top. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm not really sure if we have enough on the bottom. We'll see. Now, I'm going to be honest, these are a little tricky to get out of the mold. What I try to do is go all the way around and kind of break that seal, and then pull it out. Let's see if I can get that. It may take you a few minutes to unmold because they do get tricky. Okay. There we go. Oh, that actually is kind of cool. All right, so you see the flowers did float, but it does have, you can see there's a flower in the middle there, and you can see there are flowers along the side, and the glitter is actually nice. So if you remember the other ones, I got a little carried away with the glitter. This one actually has a really nice kind of depth to it, I'm not opposed. So what we're going to do now is we need to make this flat. So if you can see that it's not really flat on the top here. So there are different ways you can do that. I found that you can use a Dremel or you can use sandpaper. I actually just used a nail file, one of those heavy duty nail files. And so literally just kind of trying to flatten out the bottom, because you're going to need to put you remember the, every time I record, my cat makes lots of noise. You're going to need to put the screw on the bottom. See if you see this. Okay, so you need to attach it there. There are a couple of ways I recommend for attaching. So you can you can put some more resin right there and let that set up and put the screw right on top of that. That's a possibility. Or I'm going to try today and see if this works using E6000 and some hot glue. So I'm actually going to go wash this off just so that it's nice and clean, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've washed it off. You could also use rubbing alcohol in order to make sure that's nice and clean. If you notice here, there's a little bit of bubbles inside at the bottom here. That's going to be back towards the drawer or the dresser, whatever you're going to use this as a knob for. So that doesn't bother me so much. If it does for you, you could always go in and add some more resin on here, and that will certainly brighten this up. But like I said, it's going to be back towards the furniture piece, so that doesn't bother me. Now, this is a round form, so I'm going to put it on here and see if I can just balance that so that I can add the E6000 and the hot glue. So I'm adding both E6000 and hot glue because the E6000 is strong, and that's going to ultimately be the strength for it, but the hot glue grabs instantly. And so that's why you put both on there. So I'm going to put both right here in the center. And that way the hot glue will grab right away, but the E6000 is going to be the strength behind it. So I'm going to see that grabs pretty quickly. And like I said, if I decided to, I could always go back in with a little bit of resin and just coat this, and it would make it actually quite a bit stronger. So with these, I did add resin in the back. You can see the resin kind of at the base there, and these are pretty solid. They're not coming off. So I suppose you do want to have them nice and solid obviously for furniture if you're using them as a drawer pull. All right, well that's looking pretty good right there. Oh, that is just cute. I like the colors in that. I love the way that sparkles in there. All right, so I'm going to let this cure a little bit, and then I'll show you what it looks like on furniture. And I hope you give this a try. What a wonderful way to take, flowers that you've had in a production, and either getting flowers from family and friends or in the production itself, and turning them into something that you can see and appreciate and love and have as part of your daily routine. I just love these. I think they're fantastic. So I hope you're able to try these. And please, if you do, send pictures so that I can see your treasures as well. So thank you for joining me for this week's Theater Craft. I will see you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.